Hey everybody, I guess, wow, this is like the third rant today because I keep hearing liberalism all over the place and it drives me crazy. Makes me want to get out and say stuff, especially important stuff. So, today, boys and girls, we're going to talk about, I'm not even going to call it hypocrisy, and I'll tell you exactly what it is. The gun debate by liberals. First of all, I'm not going to go through the statistics of it because everybody's going to argue. But the fact is that since like 1975, there are more than twice as many guns, and the murder rate's gone down per year as an average per capita. Yada, yada, yada. The places in the U.S. where it's easiest to obtain a gun and more gun ownership per person, per household, per capita is less gun deaths. The places, Chicago, yeah, where it's harder to get a gun and it's harder to own a gun legally, more gun deaths. But, I mean, who would have the common sense to actually look at stuff like that? I don't even know how the hell they argue those statistics. I mean, they're like, basic statistics in school would teach you that they're wrong, but that's okay. Because it's not really about the gun deaths themselves anyway. It's about their political ideology. And, I mean, there's a million points of proof, but I'm going to point a few things out here. And you look at any socialist, fascist regime on earth, the very first thing every single one done was take guns away from the people. You can't control the people if the people can protect themselves from the government. And that's exactly why we have Second Amendment. And as far as I'm concerned, why, I think enough people will fight to make sure it doesn't go away. And, of course, thank God and thank Trump that we have a 5-4 majority on the Supreme Court. And when he gets reelected, and my biggest hopes are, for nothing else except the fact that he will probably get to replace RBG and give it a 6-3 majority. And that won't be overcome for a long time. So in my lifetime, the liberal crumb snatchers will never get their hands on the guns that the people in this country use to protect themselves against a tyrannical government. And so some things that say that it's a political argument more than it is common sense or a actual caring about the lives of these people. There were about, and this all comes to, statistics are always a little bit behind. So last year's statistics that they had, 33,636 gun deaths. That does include suicides. Those aren't murders. And, if you take the actual suicides and you take the gang-on-gang violence out of it, America's actually the safest country in the world. But concerning some of these other statistics I have here are self-imposed, like suicide. I'm allow all gun deaths in my argument, 33,636. 70,400 and a little change, not 70,400 or 500, not 300, it's 70,400 and something, overdoses last year. Last year they had statistics. And the sharpest rise in causes of overdoses are fentanyl. And where's all the heroin and fentanyl coming from? Across our southern border, where liberals don't want a wall to stop twice as many deaths, more than twice as many deaths, as guns cause. Because they don't care about the lives. They don't care about all the minorities. They don't care about anything except a vote. And that's all they're trying to do. They use everybody for their political ideology, to advance their political ideology. The DACA stuff. My God, they've abandoned these DACA kids. They could have been put, and Trump said he would sign, bills with a DACA fix in it. Have they even tried? No. Remember the Schumer shutdown was over DACA, and because he wouldn't do it. They don't care. People, if you're a liberal and you're watching this, and you believe that you're a liberal or you're a Democrat because the Democrats care so much about you, then you're lying to yourself. They're lying to you. If you're a liberal because you want to use these people, you're just an ass. If you are one of the liberals who, we got to say we're for these people, and we'll say we're for those people, so they'll vote for us, you know, you're I don't even say what you are. Anyway, back to my thing here. 88,000 and change deaths attributed to alcohol every year, including, shortened lives of over 2 million days per year of lifespan shortened a year, and went into some stuff like that. Haven't seen much about liberals crying about it or wanting to do anything about it. 88,000, that's bigger than 33,636 by more than twice. The OD and alcohol together are almost 5 times put together more than the gun deaths. They're 5 times more people, but no worries from the liberals because they don't actually care about the people. They just want to get rid of guns so that you can oppose them when they take over. And, well, let's just go ahead and handle that too. Let me see here. Fascism. Fascism has two explanations. One of them is, according to Webster's or whatever the thing is, basically a government, tyrannical government based on, like Hitler, based on race, saying that they're tyrannical because of race. The second is a tyrannical government that tries to control society against the will of the people. A fascist government is one that I don't know, forces healthcare, forces you to buy healthcare that you don't want. But I was there. But I will go into a couple fascist acts that have been actually fascist, not Trump wants to actually enforce their immigration laws. So it must be fascism because of brown people. Well, let me see. 10,000 sex trafficked kids a year come across the southern border, and Democrats don't do anything about it because they're just little brown girls. So I'm throwing that right back at you. But let's see. 2016 election. There was this lady who was in the IRS, and she used her power at the IRS to silence Tea Party groups. Using your power of the government to silence the opposition party of the party that you're with and agree with is tyrannical. It's definitely fascist, and it's third world. And the Democrats didn't have a single problem with it because, well, they were just getting Republicans. They silenced these groups so they couldn't speak out during an election. If you don't have a problem with that, you're a fascist, and I don't care what you think. You're a damn fascist. So, fascist, let me see, what party was she support? Oh, Democrats. Let me see. Then we had this whole thing where the Democrat Party got together and decided that they were going to select who the nomination was going to be for the last election. I'm sorry, that wasn't 2016 with the IRS thing. It was 2012 because Obama was second. The 2016 was, well, yet another fascist act by the Democrats where they decided they're going to select, that the party's going to select who the nominee's going to be against the will of the people. So they actively worked against Bernie Sanders to make sure he didn't get the nomination. So, again, I don't know, some of the Bernie supporters were pissed off, and Trump would have won no matter which one of those two were up there, so it didn't really matter to me. But to think that people in this country want to decide for the population, that's fascist. Again, what party was that? Oh, yeah, Democrats. And then you've got this stuff, like Peter Strzok. He was in charge of the Clinton Foundation, Clinton investigation. And it's quite evident from his texts and everything that he wanted to make sure that Hillary didn't get in trouble so she could go through with the election. So he thought she was going to win. And the world's most powerful policing agency deciding who and who they're not going to prosecute based on politics is fascist. Period. Point blank. If you don't think it was, you're a fascist. I don't care what you think. So yeah, that was pretty fascist. And there's more and more of this stuff coming out about these people trying to use their power within the government. You look at the whole thing of the unmasking, investigating a political candidate during an election so you can eavesdrop and wiretap them. Okay, so I'm not going to go to the point that, there's I forgot how many, like 60 some odd investigations going on about all this. Not about Trump, and I'm talking about from the IG, who was appointed by Obama, who is a registered Democrat, has 60 investigations going on against all this stuff that went on in the 2016 elections. The Republicans, and if you're a liberal and you watch NBC and CNN, you probably don't have a clue about what's going on there because they're not going to say anything about it. Go ahead, get in the internet and look it up. And the Republicans are getting kind of mad that nothing's done about blatant fascism going on in our country. But basically, the IG has come out and only twice made statements about what was going on. But one time he just basically says, we don't have time to come out here and make statements. We have 60 ongoing investigations. We're a little busy. There are going to be some people going to jail. And they're going to be on Obama's team, if not all the way up to Obama. If you follow the email chain from whatever the lady was that was working with them. I mean, fascism again. Look at Loretta Lynch in the Bill Clinton meeting, and she didn't recuse herself. I mean, they're using the power of the government to control elections, to control all this kind of stuff. And it's only come from the left. They're fascists. Look at every totalitarian socialist regime. They're also fascists. You look at Maduro and previous to that, Chavez. You look at Cuba. You look at the way Russia was. You look at the way Pol Pot was. You look at the way that Poland was. And to have that kind of we control everything government, you have to be fascist because the people won't buy it. And now, I mean, the Democrats nowadays are going further and further than your European socialists. I mean, they're basically coming down to being Venezuela and all that. And I've said it on almost every video. Do you think the people in Venezuela, when they voted for socialism, and if you go back and look at the actual economic state of Venezuela before they voted for Hugo Chavez, they were bound up with the United States. I mean, the poor people weren't quite as good, and there were some third world stuff going on, but it was a pretty rich, one of the richest countries in Central and South America. Those people had it better than every other country in Central and South America. Their poor lived better than the poor in other countries. But no, they saw some rich people in Venezuela, and well, it just wasn't fair. So they voted, basically, that, hey, we'll vote today, and then in 12 years we'll be eating out of garbage cans, rioting for food, with no health care, sick children, because that's what they voted for. They realized that's what they were voting for when they voted for it. That might be different, but that's what they voted for, and that's exactly what they got. And these Democrats now are going that far. And what did, of course, Venezuela do? Took away all the guns. Point for this video. What do American socialist, fascist want to do? Take away the guns. Ain't going to happen in America. And if y'all go just that far, it's not going to be good. There are enough people who will stand up for this country if y'all go too far. It kind of getting close to this whole Trump thing, because there ain't a damn bit. If you think Trump, he called up Putin, his buddy, and said, hey, Putin, can you help me out? You go back and look at the evidence. When he was doing his little Moscow towers, he wanted to give one of the units to Putin so that it kind of looks better, and hey, you'll be a resident with Putin in my big condos. And his team didn't even know how to get in contact with Putin. I mean, that came out in the investigation from Manafort, or which one was his lawyer, Cohen, about the ongoing project that he had in Russia that never actually came to fruition. And even Cohen admitted, they tried to say, hey, we'll give one to Putin, but nobody knew how to get hold of him. So the damaging Cohen testimony came out and basically cleared Trump from even knowing how to even contact or get an email to Putin. So if you believe that, you're a damn idiot. It's all stemmed back from that fake dossier that Clinton paid for. They got it into enough people that didn't know it was a fake document, and they thought, oh my God, look at what we got here, and it was just a fake document. And some of those investigations going over about how those FISA applications, so that has come out, is under investigation, how those were applied for and what was used to get them. And some people are going to jail. And, okay, the liberals are having their little laugh now. But when, you know, half the previous administration winds up going to jail because of the fascist acts they created, I'll wait for it. It's okay, y'all have your laugh now. Like Trump played the long game getting his border wall. Oh, shoot. Okay, the Supreme Court will just overturn it. Might take a little more time, but the end game is Trump wins. And I keep seeing all these little things. Oh, yeah, the Democrats got Trump. No, Trump's playing a long game. Y'all won a battle in a war, and he's blowing y'all out of the water in the war. And you're not going to get the guns, especially with the Supreme Court we have now. And I would put money on it. I can't say I guarantee it. Obviously, I can't guarantee who's going to be voted for, but I would put money on the fact Trump gets a second term and that at least one more Supreme Court choice. And I forgot who it was, but was it Kennedy or somebody else was going to maybe be retiring, and it probably looked at the statistics, and somebody did a whole thing about how old people were and all that kind of stuff. He might get 2 more, which would be a 7-2 Supreme Court majority. So, no, liberals, you're not getting our guns. And no, you don't care about the lives, because, oh, I forgot cigarettes. Cigarettes are attributed by the CDC of contributing to 480,000 deaths per year. Now, I do say, you know, you do see most of these ads out against the cigarette companies, Truth and all that stuff. Yeah, they're probably run by liberal organizations, but you don't hear them saying, well, they kill more than guns, so let's get out and actually work on it. Car accidents, 32,999, which is almost as much. But OD and alcohol, 5 times as much between those two. Liberals don't care. 5 times as many people, but, oh, we're not worried about that. We're only worried about guns. Well, wow, they kill less people. And matter of fact, if you do, don't take my word for it. Do a little research. Assault rifles kill less than any other type of gun. Why do y'all come after those? Because they look mean. Because you know, you try and chip away at everything you can, and assault rifles seem easy because they're scary and dangerous and all this stuff. They're not more dangerous, obviously, or else they would kill more people. See, that's kind of the way it works. If you look at all rifles, only kill like do like 2%. And then assault rifles are only 0.4% of all deaths and gun deaths in America. 0.4%. And it's like the liberals' most attributable thing. Oh my God, we have to get rid of them. We have to get rid of them. Because you don't care about the SARS. You don't count the number of deaths. You don't actually care about any statistics or anything that's based on fact. Democrat side is all feeling anyway, but you only care about chipping away, and you want to chip away at what you think is the easiest. They'll take this right, then this right, then this right, and this right. It's boiling a frog slowly. And we're not stupid. And that's why, you know, you keep hearing all the Republicans won't do any common sense going on. Well, it's not because any of it's not common sense, because, again, I'll go into the statistics of, you know, assault rifles kill less than any other type of gun, including shotguns. B, there's more guns in America by like 2 or 3 times since, you know, all this record keeping, and there's less gun deaths. Places that have more legal ownership of guns have less gun deaths, which means the guns themselves aren't the dangerous part. It's the idiots with them, like the crooks and the creeps in Chicago and in, you know, these big cities. And so none of your arguments have any fact behind it. I mean, statistics are against you 100%. And you don't even care about the fact that it's probably one that, except for, oh, sorry, car accidents. Yeah, they killed 637 less people. 637 less people than guns. So there, all your sticks are bad because one of them is less. But yeah, I mean, cigarettes, alcohol, overdoses. There's a lot of stuff that kills more people than guns. Liberals don't give a crap about. They don't care about the people. They want their guns away from people, so that when they try and take over, or they try and do whatever they want to do, like silence the opposition and all this stuff, that the people can't fight back. Because you don't care about the people. You don't care about the minorities. You don't care about the gays. You didn't care about DACA, apparently. You've abandoned them. You don't care about any of this stuff. The only thing you care about, and as a matter of fact, the proof of the pudding is, during this whole shutdown thing, Republicans put up a bill basically said federal employees will continue to receive paychecks even if they're furloughed even if their department is shut down. You cut the budget from the department during a shutdown, but you don't cut the federal paychecks. And not every, 5 freaking Democrats voted for it. The rest voted against it. Because they didn't care about these people. They're hollering, oh, they're not getting their paycheck. You're doing this encryption. You're doing people's paycheck. They're starving. People's paychecks. They're gonna miss their bills. Okay, well, let's give them a paycheck. No, you can't give them a paycheck. We won't have the issue then. We don't care about the people. We want the issue. So we can say we're right and get Trump. Democrats don't care about you. Period. Point blank. They abandon you in a heartbeat if they don't think they're getting a vote out of it.